Hey there, Mike Dance with Brookside in Austin, Texas. I just want to talk to you a little bit about talk, chat, video, and connectivity solutions. We work with 200 different providers and carriers and find the best solution for each one of our clients. That means we have to be familiar with most or all of them. So I'm constantly in presentations and trying to figure out what is the best technology based on each individual user. Like I said, that's a lot of companies to have to keep track of, but I do it. Do a good job. So they fit in certain categories like unified communications as a service, contact center service, collaboration, and of course, internet connectivity. So our goal is to help you find the best deal for the best technology. So we work with a lot of different companies, so we're familiar with them. Like I said, we use the Gartner Magic Quadrant sometimes to let us know who some of the main ones are. It's a really good resource. It's on my website at www.brooksideus.com under Learn. Our Magic Quadrant, I guess white paper is the best way to describe it for both unified communications, contact centers, enterprise collaboration solutions. So you can go in and look and see who's who in the zoo and what's going on. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of companies in this space and they're buying each other and a lot of crazy stuff going on. And the big question kind of comes back to, where are all these companies located? They're all over the place, but mainly they're going to concentrate in two particular areas over here, in the California area in the Northeast, kind of a big surprise with, one in Utah and one in Arizona. But these are some of the major players. So the big question is, where does your money go? Everywhere but Austin, Texas, when you sign up for one of these cloud-based communications companies. Only one in Austin is going to be Mitel, and of course, they bought ShoreTel. Where do you call for support? Well, once again, you're calling California, and you're hoping that nobody's going to come out there and help you. There's no local representation, from what I can tell, unless something changes. But I mean, for the most part, these companies are not set up to be local phone companies. They're set up to do their thing. Now, the other thing that's a big issue is, where are their data centers located? Because all these guys have got, the best story, the best product, all that. Who do you believe, Well, when it comes down to it, you look at companies like RingCentral, which is one of the top companies in the space. But they got 2 data centers in the U.S., okay, which is great. They got redundancy. You look at Zoom, they got 4 or 5 of them, it looks like, So, I mean, they basically, they're all, then you look at Dialpad, they've got 4 data centers around the U.S. And so that, all calls have to go through these data centers from Austin, Texas. Now, Mitel uses the Google Cloud Platform, and the Google Platform has 13 data centers around the U.S., okay? And then we start looking at around the world, RingCentral's got 8 total, not counting the one in Russia or Ukraine, wherever they've got, development over there. Zoom's got 8 data centers around the world. I mean, it's a total number, not, they don't show the one in China. We know all know they have one in China. Then Dialpad's got 10 data centers around the world. So, I mean, including one in Hong Kong. That's about as close as they get to China. Anyway, we're back to Google. Google's got 24 data centers. That's what we like, the Google Cloud Platform, which is where Mitel is. And Mitel, like I said, is local. So it is a situation where you would be supporting Austin and supporting Texas if you were to do business with Mitel here in Austin, Texas. Now, Mitel is a great company. I mean, they've got over 5 million cloud users. That's pretty strong. Nobody's got anywhere near that. I think the closest is a couple million with RingCentral, but they're a giant global company that was started back in 1973 as Mike and Terry's Lawnmowers. Then they had bought companies and just grown. And it's very unique in this space because most companies are looking to get bought. These are the guys buying the companies. They're the guys with the checkbook. So they bought Intertel, Astra, Prairie Fire, Oasis, and ShoreTel. These are all major companies that they acquired and only made them stronger. And when they bought the ShoreTel people in Austin, that's when that was their introduction about 2.5 years ago to being a local Austin company. But they're really a global leader. I mean, they're gigantic. I mean, they're in 100 countries. They got over 4,000 employees, and they're number one in so many categories. It's not even funny. From private cloud to public cloud to total cloud to unified communications in Europe. I mean, they got 5 million users all over the world. That's a lot. They're very highly ranked with the Gartner Business Quadrant, the Quadrant for Business Communication, Unified Communications, Contact Centers. I mean, they're heavily involved in this industry and a leader. They're also local, like I said, to Austin, Texas. The office is out by River Place. It's a local Austin company that's actually hiring. That's a good thing to support Austin and what's going on there. As you can see, there's a lot of jobs out there that are all where they're growing the company. And where are they growing it? Austin, Texas, right? So, I mean, Mitel is a great company. And like I said, headquartered pretty much for the most part here in Austin, Texas. Now, Mitel uses the Google Cloud Platform, which is more secure, scalable, reliable, and compliant than pretty much anything you're going to see out there based on what we just saw. Their Mitel MyCloud Connect is a very strong product, and it provides everything in a single login from talk, chat, and video, everything that you need. And as I mentioned before, there are 13 data centers around the United States and 24 around the world. So, I mean, the Google platform has got the best high availability, industry's best security, and faster deployments. So why would you go with MyCloud, for Mitel for cloud communications? Well, it's a growing local company that develops all the software for talk, chat, and video that's in the Google Cloud platform. They make their own phones, their own software, their own video conferencing solutions. So they didn't acquire people. I mean, that'll come into play in more when you see how we compare it to Dialpad. But there's free Mitel IP phones that come with built-in encryption. That's a big deal, whether you realize it or not. Encryption's huge. So it's only about $20 a month is where it starts out. I mean, or a little bit more if you're going to do integration into Salesforce and call recording and a few other things. But for the most part, it's under $20, to get into the solution. And then you have a single login for everything that you need. So, and it's made in Austin. So it's got awesome IP phones. It's got a contact center, web and video conferencing, team collaboration and workspaces, kind of like Slack and Teams, message and screen sharing, and native integrations to a lot of your favorite business apps. It comes with a system admin portal. It's the easiest one I've ever seen to use. And if you can't figure it out, there's somebody available 24/7 to help you. Now, security is a big deal when we start talking about these cloud-based phone systems and solutions. So what you've got with the Google Cloud Platform and with Mitel Connect is you've got the highest level of security that you're going to find out there with 256-bit, encryption. And then, of course, you've got HIPAA compliancy, you've got, Sarbanes-Oxley or SOC, compliancy, all of it built into, one cool, reliable software solution. Oh, speaking of cool, reliable software, it's really cool because it's all supported by Mitel directly in Austin. You got your Connect app, which does presence, IM, some web and video. It works with Apple, Android, Microsoft. You've got integration to, things if you need to, like Zoom and Microsoft Teams. There's just several things. Pretty much all of them have clicks, not code, to be able to integrate to any of the major software solutions. It comes with a mobile app for Connect as well, and then Teamwork, which gives you, once again, HD video conferencing, very similar to how Zoom and Google and Meet and all these other guys work. So at the end of the day, you've got wireless, cordless handsets, cordless headsets, and headsets. And it's just really simple. So we come back around to what's the best solution. I think is a single login, and that'll make more sense in a minute, because you have to look at your users. I mean, how many things do they have to log into just to communicate and collaborate, And even if it's one solution like Dialpad, Uber Conference, that's two different companies that are all kind of glued together. And it's very prevalent in the industry to have multiple providers have to be able to talk to each other from multiple data centers to be able to deliver a complete solution. Once again, I'll come back to that. But the average employee, logs into like 17 different things, including 3 content sharing or collaboration tools, so it's a lot of logins and passwords. So with the Connect, you've got one login for talk, chat, and video. It takes you to MyCloud Connect. That also has Teamwork, My Team Meetings, everything all under one click to get in. So when you look at it, you got your PBX features, your call transfer. This is the app that would run, like we've looked at before. In the past, it's got audio and web conferencing. It's got the ability to transfer calls to anybody, any other users in there. There's one-click access to pretty much everything. It looks like this on the screen. So you see you've got, your contacts, and you've got your own conference bridge. Each user has their own conference bridge with their own number that they can use as much as they want to. You've got, there's your contacts, there's your recent calls, there's your voicemails, and then we get to Teamwork. So Teamwork is what kind of separates us from other solutions, like a Dialpad, to where you've got, the ability to create and assign and manage tasks, share files. It's really slick how it works. So, you see on here, you can see I've got files for Grey Ghost Country Club, one of the projects we're working on. That comes up in Teamwork. One of the things that happens, though, is, when you look at meetings right here, that's where you've got the ability to do video conferencing. It's very similar to how Zoom is. Just this screen just pops up. You enter now, they've got a little room. The guy has to go wait in a room for you to let them in, one of those kind of deals. But, it works very well, and it's very secure. So that's the best thing about it is it's highly secure. It's using WebRTC, which is a standard. It's the highest level of security. You can see down here, my team's using WebRTC. Everything's 256-bit encryption. That's the highest level of encryption that you can get, and the other guys don't have it. It has native integration to business apps. So once again, we're talking about clicks, not code, to be able to integrate most of the major providers into the solution, for next to nothing, including Salesforce. Salesforce is a big partner of Mitel's. They basically put a software phone within the Salesforce window. So you got click to call, you got inbound screen pops, voicemail is transcribed and put in the customer file. Everything is routed to the customer file. So it's very logical, this connection that's grown over time, and they're a big Salesforce partner. So once again, we're back to a single login. So you'll log into one thing, and you'll get Salesforce, you'll get Mitel's, talk, chat, and video, everything, all from one login. So then, it's really cool. The mobile apps are easy to use. They all work the same pretty much on any device. You've got calendar integration with whatever you're using for email. You've got, peer-to-peer video. You've got instant messaging, presence, all these features and capabilities. It integrates in with your Outlook or your Gmail, so that, you've got the ability to know all the calendaring. You're in a meeting, all these things happen automatically. It's really slick. And the relationship with Google is pretty strong. I mean, Google and Mitel really, have really gotten together and used the best part of both solutions, including, integrating into Google Chrome, an actual soft phone, which is not unique. But you have to understand a lot of things I'm showing you. Mitel was the one that innovated and came out with it. The other guys have kind of copied them. They're one of the companies that's kind of leading this. Of course, 5 million users. The Chrome browser extension and G Suite integration allows you to be able to do a lot of really neat things within Google. For example, you can see and add, you get into a conference call, it automatically alerts me. Mine comes up and tells me in the right-hand corner, hey, it's time for your conference call with Dale. Boom, one click and I'm in. Reminded me, I like that. Quickly view and listen to voicemails. Great frequently called numbers, manage multiple calls at a time. I mean, it's super easy to use once you've used it for a while on any device, anywhere. The best part, too, I think, might be the hardware, which is all manufactured by Mitel. They've got some of the coolest phones. They'll give you a fairly basic one for free, but the one that we've got proposed is this one that's got the ability to integrate to your mobile phone, and then it's got a built-in, headset. So this is the phone that we'd be putting on everybody's desk right here, okay? Not this one. This is a touchscreen. This is like $2 more a month or something like that. Here it is with the deck headset, which, once again, no plugs. That's the phone that we've got proposed right now with the deck headset. And then this is a lower model, one that doesn't have the integration. So you can plug different devices in, very similar to Legos. They're in, and that's very simple. Everything can be done, is designed to be done by the end user. Here's a wireless LAN adapter. So if you want to be able to use the phone somewhere where there's Wi-Fi, but there's no cabling, then that's your device there. It just hooks up to Wi-Fi and gives you the plug for power over Ethernet and for the phone. This is a really cool basically a speakerphone that talks through Bluetooth to your cell phone, to your desk phone, to your notebook. I mean, it's really slick, and that's another part of what we deliver. There's a really nice speakerphone for the conference room. There's also with 16 microphones in it, really cool, or little wireless phones. You can put multiple ones in there and play music whenever you're not using it for a speakerphone. So what are the options? How much does it cost? When you start looking at what we propose to you guys, it's only $289 a month, for 10 users. So that comes out to around $28.95. And that's going to give you, cordless headsets, an IP phone with built-in encryption and a power supply. So you don't have to worry about power over Ethernet at the house. And so that's a really good deal right there. And then when we start looking at what all that includes, it's the Premier package, right? So it's 12 parties of video. It's got 25-party audio, 25-party web call, and then all these great features and capabilities. The reason we're in the Premier is because we want, the Salesforce integration. We'll have on-demand recording. We'll have transcription. They all come to, there's web, click to call. I mean, all these things are all built in, coming in at like a ridiculously, we're knocking $15 a user off. So it's almost half price. But make sure whenever you're looking at, the Dialpad, that they've got all these things in there, mobile phone integration. That's amazing. Someone calls your cell phone, it actually rings into your desk phone or into your soft phone app. You can make and receive calls. Native Salesforce integration, so it's within Salesforce. It's not like middleware. Like the Dialpad uses middleware between them, and they use something called Tenfold, another company out of Austin. Unless they've come up with a new integration, they were using a third party. Voicemail transcriptions built in, on-demand call recording, so you get a button at any time and record that call into your voicemail, and then it's very easy to transfer it into Salesforce or wherever it needs to go. For that, that's taking a recording of a call. So if you want to record the technical aspects of a call and then turn around and be able to send it to someone else for them to review and or help, I use that every day. 12-party video. 12 people, you can expand beyond it. It's another $3 a month, $4 a month per user, and you can go up to 100 on video. 25-party for audio and web. And there's Outlook and G Suite integration. Those are very important. And then unlimited minutes every month. Don't take that for granted with some of these systems. They wind up costing you money down the road because there's only so many minutes. So you see, this kind of comes out. There are the different phones. You know, this one particularly, what we're doing is we've moved you up to this one that's only $2 a month is now free. Then the headset that's $5 is in there too. So everything is in the sauce. Now let's talk about Dialpad and Uber Conference, which technically are two different companies, two different applications. But once again, just like they do in this industry, they try to appear as one. Well, Mitel has 5 million customers. These guys have 70,000. There's a big difference there as well. They were kind of, I think, bought by Google, or it's the guy that runs it comes from Google Talk. He created Google Talk. I think they sold to Google, bought it back. I don't know, got the name back. It's kind of confusing. This whole industry is full of companies like this that you can't figure out exactly where they came from or where they're going. So in the Gartner group, you know, like I said, they have you know, the Magic Quadrant. Dialpad has a strong telephony background and good voice quality. I mean, this is all good stuff. Voice Intelligence is a company they bought where they added AI, you know, to their solution. Called Talk IQ. It's a company they bought for $50 million. I don't know what else it does. I can't really tell from the website. They have a strong partnership with Google because Google Talk, it was created by their Craig Walker, who's the guy that's the CEO of Dialpad. But Google's kind of doing their own thing now. So it's not a strong relationship for anybody to be with Google because they're a competitor. It's like trusting a lion with your kids. But Dialpad Talk is, you know, that you know, have workstream collaboration capabilities. You know, some of these things, they're very limited in some of this. That's some cautions. You know, they've got some beta stuff going on, but for the most part, they're using Uber Conference, which is a separately developed product that they have glued together. So some of their tools aren't as robust as they need to be. I don't know. I mean, they're not all over the world. I mean, they're in enough places where, you know, we care about them. You know, they're not in some of the obscure countries, but they're basically Dialpad's considered to be a relatively small provider. You know, because 70,000 users. You know, and limited visibility on the market. And they expect the value of the Google parts to decrease as Google's own telephony offering matures, kind of like me. And then what we got, you know, it's obviously two separate platforms. When you start looking at their help center, I just did a little research like I do on this stuff, you know. And so once again, you got settings in Dialpad, you got settings in Uber Conference. This is just more sophisticated than it needs to be. It's not a single solution, you know, delivered by a single company like what you get with Mitel. That's why I like Mitel better. You know, but you see the different problems they have, and you know, can I link my Uber Conference, a different Uber Conference account to my Dialpad account? Can I transfer an active call from Dialpad to Conference? I mean, this is, you know, like I said, a lot of people out there represent themselves as a single solution. For the most part, it's more than one. You know, I mean, it's more than one company. So what happens is one will upgrade the software, the other one doesn't, and you've got issues and problems that are very difficult to troubleshoot and a lot of finger pointing. So what happens is, you know, with them, what are the options? How much it costs? This is all I can tell from their website. So one, you're going to need a Dialpad seat. Looks like Pro is going to be the minimum that you're going to want. You know, we don't know enterprise-wise, but this goes up to, I believe, 100 users. You know, at that price. So that's about that's $30. And that's misleading. 25 is if you pay for everything up front. Who's going to do that? I mean, I don't know why you would, but $30, and then Uber Conference is $15, or of course $20 if you are going to pay for it monthly. So it puts us at around $50 user a month, plus the one-time cost of the phones. You got to pick a phone, and then headsets to go on them, you know, and that can get kind of messy too because they need cords for everything, where ours just plugs in like Legos, you know. So the Dialpad issues I see, it's a complex design with multiple solutions developed by multiple companies, multiple logins to their apps, various apps, multiple integrations for the CRM. You know, you have to integrate not only, you know, the Dialpad, but you got to integrate Uber Conference. That's two different platforms. They use third-party SIP phones, which are Polycom, which everybody uses, which have zero encryption. So at the end of the day, they're going to be, I don't know, everybody's, you know, every pricing is different on every one of these, but they're going to be a little higher than everything else out there, you know, just because, you know, that's just how it works. Security and ransomware, this is the key. This is a big one, okay? So what happens is by using SIP phones, these SIP phones do not have encryption. So they use the public internet with no encryption, which means they're very easy to hack. Now, your security guy is going to tell you we got some for that. But that's just another layer of complexity that you don't have to worry about, you know, because, you know, you don't want the hackers. Russian hackers love SIP because what happens is they can record calls and gather information for ransomware attacks, okay? And that's not a good thing. That's what's coming in the world we live today, as the bad people want to get into our business and figure out how they can take our money. I mean, it's really kind of sad that's what's going on with some of these foreign countries that don't love us. So bottom line, why should I move talk, chat, and video to Mitel? Well, Brookside and Mitel, we're local. Buy local, support Austin. Why not? I mean, you know, we have, you know, a really good solution, And if it doesn't do something minor that we need to do with SMS texting, we're going to have that within months, And so, I mean, it's just a better long-term decision. It's in the Google Cloud platform, 100%, so everything that's the advantage of there is going to be, less points of presence or less hops, as they call it, to be able to get from your site or wherever you're at to the cloud instead of like 2 or 4 sites. So, we've got 13 in the United States. End-to-end encryption. Everything's encrypted, the audio, the web, the video, and that's just not the case with these other guys. I mean, you've seen the stories about Zoom, you've seen the stories about Teams, everybody's hacking into these. And so you can use these applications, but they need to be behind something that's more secure. And so we have integration of these business apps, okay, which means that the security is being handled by Mitel, but the integration is there just like it's all one. These are native integrations, so it's not like custom. There's less responsibility for IT. Okay, I mean, obviously, you don't have to worry about software upgrades. With multiple vendors, multiple phone companies, zero servers and zero software. I mean, zero server software. Excuse me. Integration to Google Chrome and G Suite for education. Well, that comes in, and then the lowest cost per user. It's going to be much lower than it's going to be probably half. It should be close. Once you put everything into Dialpad that you have in Mitel, it should be close. So there's only one thing I got to say. Communicate simply. That's right. Brookside, talk, chat, video, and connectivity solutions. Thanks for your time today, and have a nice day.